Oh, this is a good one. Hello guys, I'm IsaacD2. Welcome to my channel. I like reorganizing things. Speaking of which, that's why I've been deciding to make more videos, because in the past 4 months or something, I've only posted one video, and that was about handstands. Which, I mean, I'm getting better, so that's good. So I used to use Lightroom and Photoshop to edit my pictures, but I was tired of the subscription, $10.71 a month, which equals a little over $120 a year, which I didn't feel like paying anymore. So I looked for an alternative and found Luminar 4. Alright, so this will be a laundry list. This will be a list of things that I like and don't like about Luminar. So I've been using Luminar for 4 months now, and here's some things that don't work very well. First of all, it's a little bit slower than you would like, especially when going through pictures, which is kind of what the program is for. For example, if, let's say, all these pictures look kind of good to me, but I want to see which one is best. So I'll double click on one, and it'll load. So you can see like a general picture really fast. It's really fast scrolling through. I can see that one. So you can see like what their composition is, but then if you want to see any detail or like check the focus, you have to wait a few seconds and then it loads. There we go. See? Super fast. An instance where the slow loading would not be helpful at all would be right here, when you have a lot of the same picture and you're just trying to check and see which one's in focus the most. This one, you're like, oh, that looks pretty good, but you kind of have to sit here and wait. Totally miss the focus. Then you go to the next one, image processing. We got the focus on his tail. So yeah, going through a lot of similar shots where you're not necessarily looking for the best composition, but rather technical excellence in focus, this program's going to struggle and you're not going to be able to see them in as high quality, as fast. Another thing that is kind of slow is when you go into edit and you go to do like a more intense, so if I go to AI accent and crank that, it was pretty fast, but it's not quite real time. So that part is a little bit annoying because I don't always like to wait when I'm editing my pictures, because waiting's boring and we live in 2020, so I shouldn't have to wait, right? Another thing that takes a second to load is cropping. You push C to crop, it loads up pretty fast. And then you change your crop to whatever, 16:9. We'll put this tree right on the third there and hit enter. Bang! So, again, not a huge deal, but it did take that much longer. And the same thing happens when you go to like erase or clone and stamp, which are basically the same thing. Remove all these green trees over here. Let's say I don't want those green pine trees in the corner anymore. I click done, and ta-da! All the green pine trees are done. Not the world's fastest, but again, it's workable for me because I'm not on tight deadlines. Usually I'm just editing pictures for fun. The fourth thing that I don't really like about Luminar is the lack of a truly full screen. So for example, if I take this picture, so then let's say I edited this and I'm really happy with it, then I click F to go into full screen mode and it's mostly full screen, like kind of, but the bezel's right here, the picture starts here. That's like half, 3/4 of an inch of the screen that I lost on the sides. If I try to zoom in once, it zooms in past. You'll see down here there's the little tree branch, but then if I zoom in, it's gone, so you can't really see the picture full screen. So what I usually do is I just end up exporting the picture, setting it as my desktop background, which is kind of an odd way of doing it, but I just admire my pictures like this for a second, then decide what I want to change, go back into Luminar and edit away. The fifth thing is lack of panorama support. Luminar does not have a built-in panorama stitcher. So I took these pictures, handheld, and I want to turn them into a panorama. So in order to do that, this is the process I follow. Step 1, edit one of the pictures exactly how I want it to look. In doing that, I don't want to use any spot specific stuff. So like I don't want to add a vignette or something. And then I come over here, copy adjustments, select all the other pictures around it, paste the adjustments onto those ones. Export all the pictures. Then I found this program called Auto Stitch. So technically this is the program that runs a lot of other panorama stitching programs. Like you can use it to make your own basically. But this is the back end of it. Choose what folder it's in, select all your pictures, click open, and wait for them to stitch together what ends up turning out to be this. Then you take this, put it in a Luminar and edit it from there. But that's kind of the problem. We have this here, but if we try to load this into Luminar, and let's say we want to crop it or something, we want to take out all the black stuff. Perfect. And of course it works flawlessly this time. Many times when you go to crop a big panorama like that, or even edit it, it gets really annoying. So yeah, obviously Luminar decided to cooperate this time, maybe because it knows that I'm recording. Many times I've tried to make a panorama work, and it didn't. So thanks for cooperating this time, I guess. So the first thing that I like about Luminar is that it's cheaper. It's just a one-time $70 or $80, I forget the price now, $70 or $80 purchase that you buy once, and you get cheaper upgrades when they come out with a new version. So it ends up being cheaper than Lightroom. The second thing that I like, that your images can end up looking better, faster, without you knowing as much what to do. Did that make any sense? Let's take this image for example. It looks decent, but it definitely needs editing. They're AI enhanced and structure and smart contrast. They don't do the same thing as just a normal contrast, but they kind of look at the image and see how to help fix it. For example, the sky enhancer. If you max it out, it looks better. Or the AI accent, which I usually don't max out because I don't like to accent my photos all the way, but you can use the different tools that they include, like golden hour. I use this one a lot. It just makes your skies and yellows look more like it was shot at golden hour, which is usually when photographers like to shoot, but can't always shoot. So if you kind of can fake it with this slider right here. Another feature, this is what, 3? Cheaper, faster, and third, layers. Let's say that you max out sky enhancer, but it's still not enhanced the sky enough. You can just create a new adjustment layer and accent the sky 100% again. The main way I use adjustment layers is to create like a custom vignette. Drop the exposure and just kind of draw a vignette around part of the image. Doing that is a lot easier because then you can change literally every setting that you can on the main image, but mask it. You can do a lot more fine-tune editing to very specific areas in Luminar than I feel you can in Lightroom. So that's another big bonus. The fourth thing is that you can turn on and off each section to see how it affects the image. And I do these changes and I'm like, do I like that? Without these toggles, you would just have to go to the before and after and be like, yeah, it looks better than the raw, but pretty much any edit looks better than a raw. But with Luminar, you can toggle just the color section and be like, does this section improve the image? The fifth and final thing that I like about Luminar is that it's really easy to navigate. You got all your pictures here. You also have all of your folders that you organized on your drive very neatly. I'm assuming you do that. Everything's easy to find. The interface looks like it's from 2020 roughly, not 1992. Sorry, I was just waiting for him to finish talking. So, should you buy Luminar? Well, it kind of depends. Personally, I'm going to keep using it instead of Lightroom. There's a few reasons why I would say you should buy Luminar. First of all, if you're just getting started, you don't want to spend all the money on an editing program. And also, if you're not really sure exactly how to edit your pictures, you can still use Luminar to get better results faster than you can in Lightroom because they have built-in presets. You can replace the sky. They have a lot of AI tools to help you out. Another reason to use Luminar would be if you're shooting portraits, because there is a whole panel that I didn't even talk about in Luminar that helps with portraits, making those look better. But I just never shoot portraits, so I can't say, like, I can't explain it to you because I've never used it personally. The reason not to get Luminar and Lightroom instead would be if you shoot panoramas or nighttime shots a lot. Panoramas, obviously, Luminar doesn't have any built-in panorama support, while Lightroom does. So that's a benefit that Luminar just doesn't have. And then also, I prefer the denoising on Lightroom over Luminar for higher ISOs. If it's lower ISO, it doesn't really matter that much. Both of them do fine. But at higher ISOs, when you have to crank the denoise a lot more, I prefer Lightroom's denoising tools over Luminar's. That's just a personal preference. Yours may differ, but those would be the two reasons I would recommend not getting Luminar and the two reasons I would recommend to get it. So with that being said, make sure you hit subscribe because I got more videos coming soon so you can get notified when that happens. Also like the video and comment down below something you learned today. That'd be cool to see. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one. Bye.